Breaking news tonight, according to the North Dakota University System spokesperson, either former North Dakota Governor Ed Schaefer or current UND Provost and VP of Academic Affairs Thomas DiLorenzo will be announced as the interim UND president when President Kelly retires in January. Good evening and welcome to 630 Point of View. I'm Chris Berg. As always, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Holy cow, it's Monday. I'm starting with the UND interim president story because there is a really good piece, at least in my opinion, in the Grand Forks Herald asking this: why so much troubling news at UND lately? Hopefully we can show this to you as well. I'm going to share with you just some of the things that have happened recently up at UND, and you tell me who you think is going to, one, want this job, and two, who in the world is going to be able to clean up this mess. First off, you've got this. 3 UND employees recently have been arrested for sex crimes. One, a UND police officer by the name of Paul Meager, was arrested for possessing child porn. A second UND employee, Robert Beatty, who chairs the Family and Community Medicine Department, he also was indicted for allegedly possessing child porn. And these are the people, keep in mind, that are supposed to be helping and protecting our kids and families. Then you also have got Randall Bowman. He's the Associate Director of Sustainability up there. He was arrested in a prostitution ring in Minnesota. Of course, all these people are innocent until proven guilty. We get that, but clearly there is a pattern going on here up at UND. Then you've got the Dean of UND's College of Education and Human Development, Robert Hill. He's been put on paid leave pending an investigation of some kind. We don't know what. You've also got a $5 million budget shortfall in a state that has invested more money in higher ed recently than any other state in the entire union. Also, you've got this: a UND professor arrested at 9:30 in the morning for a DUI as he was driving on his way to teach a class on campus. You've got the students earlier this year at a hockey game asking for President Kelly to be fired. The student senate and much of the faculty basically giving President Kelly a vote of no confidence. Then President Kelly goes out and wrongfully and quickly accuses Lambda Chi Alpha of assaulting a homosexual man at a frat party. The police report said this did not happen, and yet President Kelly wants to open up his own investigation into the incident. Because I don't know, maybe the cops got it wrong or something, I guess. And of course, there is the big elephant in the room, no pun intended, that has become somewhat of a soap opera, in my opinion. Of course, the UND nickname saga. The saga where President Kelly would not even meet face-to-face with his own appointees of the nickname committee to discuss the most popular nickname, according to you and I, the public, which was North Dakota. So now we're down to the final two. We've got the Fighting Hawks and the Rough Riders, neither of which could garner a majority of the vote and hit that all-important 50% mark. And to say the least, all of this put together, in my opinion, is just one giant mess, which begs the question, who's going to go in and clean this up? Is it going to be former North Dakota Governor Ed Schaefer or current Provost and VP of Academic Affairs Thomas DiLorenzo? Now, with us tonight to answer that question and much, much more, UND alum, won a national title there as a football player and also a current North Dakota State Senator. Maybe you'll make some news tonight about another announcement as well, but that's Senator Max Snyder joining us in Grand Forks. Senator Snyder, thanks so much for joining us, sir. What I'm hearing through the grapevine, I want to hear if you're hearing the same thing. Ed Schaefer's basically got the job. It's going to be announced tomorrow. Are you hearing something similar?
Well, I only know, first off, thanks for having me on, Chris. I only know what I've seen in the Grand Forks Herald, and that it's down to basically 2 candidates, the provost, Mr. DiLorenzo, or possibly former governor and former USDA Secretary Ed Schaefer. I think those 2 individuals are well suited to be a bridge to the future for the University of North Dakota. I know that the Presidential Search Committee is meeting and working very hard on this big decision to choose President Kelly's replacement. I think former Governor Schaefer would be an excellent interim president. I think Thomas DiLorenzo has administrative skills as well. And so I think UND will be in good hands with either one of those 2 in the interim.
So let's talk, I want to get on to Thomas DiLorenzo in a minute. Let's talk about the current mess, or at least for the last few months. I mean, you heard me just rattle off a myriad of items. Do you attribute to that lack of leadership from President Kelly, or what do you attribute it to?
Well, I wouldn't go as far as to say UND's a mess. There are some tremendous things that are going on at the University of North Dakota, whether it's the new law school, the new med school, the new aviation building, the partnership with Grand Sky that was just a groundbreaking out in the industrial park today on that. And so I think there's some challenging news. There's no question about that, especially the arrest. That deserves a good hard look. Were there signals that were missed here in hiring these individuals for these positions, which include campus police officer and head of family medicine at the University of North Dakota? Those are always things that should trigger a second look. But at the same time, I think it's an unfair characterization to say that the University of North Dakota is a mess. We've got a tremendous opportunity. I think if you walk up and down University Avenue, the students that go to UND, they'll say they're proud of their school.
And I presume you're probably right because they're there, they're paying the money, they're supposed to say that. But let's take the word mess out of this and let's just look at what's so from what I just said. And those are the things that just I know of being down here in Fargo. Again, my question is, what do you attribute some of these issues to? Is it a lack of leadership? Because I don't know how else you can sum it up any other way.
Well, I think when you have a cluster of arrests with UND faculty and staff, definitely you want to take a hard look at, are those somehow related? Did we make the right choices in hiring and monitoring those employees? And so I'm sure whether it's the interim president or current president that those reviews are being conducted. I certainly hope that they are. But at the same time, we don't want to lose sight of all the good things that are going on at the University of North Dakota. This is a large campus. It's got thousands of students, and it's got challenges. But we can build on those challenges and maximize our opportunities too.
And I appreciate that, Mac. But I think what I'd love to hear is have an honest conversation about the situation. The same thing I talked to a lot of people in our state about. Obviously, what's happening in education in our state. And everyone wants to talk about these glowing results, K through 12. You just saw last week, 46% of the kids are proficient in English, 40% math. Those are not glowing results to me. So I'm not saying it's good, bad, right, or wrong. I'm just saying let's have an honest conversation about this because obviously there's challenges. And I think if we can honestly assess where we're at, then we can move forward and correct some of these issues. So let's move on to this. And I just saw a piece tonight, University of Virginia fraternity now suing Rolling Stone for $25 million because we know what happened there about the alleged rape case. My question comes in the standpoint of President Kelly, again, back to his leadership. He came out very quickly, fairly strongly, I would say, about the situation at Lambda Chi Alpha about saying, hey, there was an assault on a homosexual man. He obviously, I don't know, I guess, sort of alluded to the fact that it was due to his sexuality, which, again, none of this was proven true. Did he jump the gun, and does the fraternity on campus have some sort of legal action against the university because of that?
Boy, I can't jump to any legal conclusions here. I haven't looked at the case that deeply by any means. But what I will say is that I was involved with an effort during the last legislative session with my colleague from Grand Forks, Republican Senator Ray Holmberg, to increase the protections to students who are accused of crimes or wrongdoing on campus. And I think in a lot of ways, especially with the law enforcement, the thorough investigation that they undertook as part of that case, these young men were cleared of wrongdoing. Were there some on campus who may have been too quick to jump the gun? That might have happened. I think we all need to, as you said at the outset of the program, continue to abide by innocent until proven guilty. But at the same time, I do think that the increased protections that we're providing to students in North Dakota that I strongly supported, that was at least a way that we have improved upon the system. And I think that aspect is working.
Thomas DeLorenzo, you mentioned him going, hey, he's got some administrative skills. Would he get your vote to be the next interim president?
I don't get a vote on that. That's the chancellor's decision, the state board's decision. I think those two candidates are good. Certainly, they both have administrative experience. Hard to argue with the former governor of North Dakota, ran an entire state. He also ran a federal agency. On the other hand, Mr. DeLorenzo, he's been on campus longer than Governor Schaefer has. And so I think for the interim, those are two pretty good choices.
All right, so let me share with you some information from the survey that came out that basically the faculties had a vote of no confidence for President Kelly. 54% of the people polled, which was roughly half the faculty and whatnot, said Kelly's office is not at all or not very transparent. 43% not at all, not very open. I give that for this context, Mac. When it came down to Thomas DeLorenzo's office, 75% say not at all, not very transparent. 72% say not at all, not very open. And 71% say they're not at all or not very confident in DeLorenzo's office. You say what to that, sir?
Well, there is an opportunity. Whatever happened in the past is in the past. And there is an opportunity here with the new interim president that will be arriving on campus very soon. to turn over a new leaf. And more broadly, the Presidential Search Committee is working basically as we speak. And so I think President Kelly went through an extraordinarily challenging time to be president at the University of North Dakota, with the nickname issue basically consuming the majority of his time on a day-to-day basis. I think that's the way that his administration will be judged in time. And also, he left the university in a much better position with regard to the new medical school, the new law school, new aviation department, new high-performance sports center on campus. And so this is a challenging thing to do, to be an administrator in higher ed. It's not without controversy, especially in the era of the Fighting Sioux nickname issue. And so I think the new president's going to have an opportunity to build on what President Kelly left behind here.
Senator Max Schneider is going to stick around. We didn't even get a chance to talk about the nickname saga. When we come back, we're going to talk about, obviously, Governor Dalrymple handing out some bonuses last week. Were they excessive or just good business? Senator Max Schneider will discuss that right after this. We'd love to know your thoughts, obviously, on the situation up at UND. Maybe mess, and to Mac's credit, maybe that's too strong of a word, but clearly there's an interesting pattern happening up at UND. We'd love to know what you think you can attribute to. You can communicate with us via all these different mediums. We'll be right back.